the amount of times I would have to bike home with fucking jizz in my shorts.
I didn't think she'd come. Oh my god, there's a dick there!
Welcome to Free Flow, guys, with Mitchell, Tyler. I hope he's below, because if not, it'll be awkward. And our guest continuing. Again, Matt, this is the way I'm pointing is how it is on my screen, not necessarily how it is on yours. So boom, he's over there on your screen.
Somewhere over there.
They're, we're just doing the Macarena over here. Try to continue that fire podcast that we had from last week with Jocelyn, where we were chilling, have a good time. People loved it. Got Matt here.
Sex. Now we got Matt to talk about some sex.
Yeah, so much sex talk is gonna happen that I hope you have a condom on for this podcast. Yeah. And now it's two dudes, so I already jerked off.
Even
we're good to go.
He already jerked off in the bathroom before.
He still has the lotion back there by his bed, though, so he ain't done.
Nah, my lotion's in the bathroom, dude. Come on. I use it for my feet, and then I use it for my other hands.
Do you go feet first and then penis, or penis then feet?
Usually I J.O. come on my feet, and then I fucking...
Use the same lotion, though, for your feet as you do there.
Yeah, dude, it's I don't know what it's called. I was gonna name drop it, but I can't think of what it's called.
Some jargons.
It's definitely not that, but whatever. Anyways, let's just jump. Well, actually, because we didn't do this in the basketball podcast, which is kind of awkward because the basketball podcast is coming out 3 days before this one. Mm-hmm. But Matt, tell us, or before you do that, Tyler, you have a shot with you.
Who?
Do you have a shot with you?
Yes.
All right, cool. So do I. I think Matt got his.
Hello.
Yep. All right, hold on. I need to get my chaser ready. Which in the first one I called it a follow-up or fucking something. I forgot what a chaser was. I was like, it's the follow-up to my drink, but it's a chaser. I've remembered. But let's do this real quick. Then we'll ask about Matt, and then we'll get into it.
My pink one.
Cheers, boys. I really don't even need a chaser, but I always assume it's gonna be. Yeah, I always assume it's gonna be worse. But yeah, Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us let's actually tell us about how you know us, and then we'll talk about how we met.
How do you know us? Why are you here?
Yeah.
Well, funny story. I was in the streets of Bel Air, and then I saw two very flamboyant dancers. They were exotic male dancers. And then Tyler and Mitchell happened to be their names. That was their show. But no, in all seriousness, ended up meeting these guys, known them for over 15 years or so.
Almost.
To
yeah, I mean, I said it incorrectly a couple weeks ago, but you are the third longest person that I've known. My friend that I've known. It was Dimitri, who I knew before pre-K. I had pre-K kindergarten friends, but then I moved to Irvine and met Baker, and then I don't remember if I met you the same day as Baker, if we met at the beach that day, but it was Baker and then it was you right after, and that was before first grade.
Yeah, I remember.
Wow, so you guys have known each other for 20 years.
Oh,
yeah, and then we were blessed with this guy in here that he has some cool nicknames. Don't want to necessarily say them, but
the cat.
Yeah, we used to say when we met Tyler, he looked a lot like Lance Bass from NSYNC with the frosted tips there. And I honestly hope it makes a comeback.
Bieber. He was OG Justin Bieber.
I forgot I had bleached tips when I went to Meadow Park.
If you want him to bring back the bleach tips.
I did it for my 21st birthday. I'll actually bleach it again.
If we get 10 subscribers, and he'll do it.
10 subscribers? Hell no. To bleach my hair? Probably at least halfway. Matt has at least 10 burner accounts. We need something that Matt can't cover.
Yeah,
I believe I'll plug. All right, Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself, though.
He's got big teeth.
That's true. Big, voluptuous teeth I have. Played sports throughout my life. Now I'm currently studying some business marketing, and we'll see where life takes me from there. just OC boy, born and raised. Don't really plan on leaving if I don't have to.
He was the varsity quarterback in high school, just saying. No flex or
God.
anything.
He's
Pretty
subscribed
big
to
deal.
our YouTube, and I did see he has his highlights up on YouTube.
Yeah, go check him out.
Check me out, like, follow, subscribe. I'm going back for a 10th year of high school. So
Let's go.
Dude, it is. How crazy is that it is almost our 10-year. In 2 years, we'll have a 10-year reunion. In literally
going.
2 years.
Yeah, and you're
Unless
gonna
this
see me
podcast
there
blows
starting
up.
at in the football team
Yeah,
still.
Matt's gonna be there starting for the homecoming game when we're all coming home.
Be like, why does that guy look so familiar?
So, are you guys going to the 10-year reunion? 'Cause I am for sure. That sounds lit.
If this blows up, hell yeah. If not, no.
Oh no, I don't
You're
feel
going
like
if I'm going.
I don't think as many people as we think are gonna go are gonna end up going. Honestly,
I feel like it'd be like 50 people.
I feel like that'd make it more fun.
And it'd be all the people in fucking band and shit like that. Like it'd be
That'd be
nobody
the
we
random
know.
lit.
ASB people too.
That'd be
Oh,
so
yeah.
sick.
Everyone has babies and everything too. It'd be like, sheesh.
Yep, not me. I missed the baby wave.
I mean, most of them have
blessed.
babies. I feel like half the kids that have kids,
I probably will have a kid by
Like,
then.
I feel like half the people that have
That's
kids
the
now
scariest.
had kids before, like from our high school and our class, had kids before they graduated. Like,
Half? Did you say half?
I don't know that many that have had kids, like from our year.
Didn't you just say half the kids in our class had kids?
Like half of the kids in our class that had kids had them back when we were all like in high school.
For
Wait,
our class?
Yeah, like
I
how
only
many
knew
people-
one person that had a kid.
I don't know fucking 5 people that have kids now.
I do.
yeah, you just gotta look at Facebook and you see all those kids that were from the Mormon church.
Yeah, they've been popping those fuckers out. Crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, Mormon
goddamn
church, great
Pez
memories,
candies
you know?
over there. Dude. Oh, man,
that
that's
dugout
so
was
weird.
Tyler's favorite place. He was
Oh,
always
jeez.
hitting home runs.
That's what I heard. He was like mildly telling the story last week, but didn't really get into it. He said you knew, so now is the perfect time for Tyler
Okay,
to tell his dugout story.
so what happened, guys, is I had a girlfriend, right? Her parents didn't
Yeah.
like her having a significant other. So we couldn't hang out after school. We could never hang out, so we could never have our love-making time. And so her parents, sidetrack real quick. Her parents thought I was the one having this relationship turn sexual. At the time, I think I had gotten a blowjob from
Bullshit.
one person.
I'm
I'm serious.
one dude before that relationship.
So, and then when we got together, she was more experienced than me sexually. So, but it
Hard to
wasn't like
believe.
her pushing me, but it wasn't like I was like, oh yeah, let's have sex. That wasn't it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we didn't have many places to have sex. So there was a creek by our school. And so we used to go there, and then she would give me oral lovemaking at the creek. And then
Give her some
um,
mouth babies.
and then I guess one time her dad or stepdad watched,
Hell
and so
yeah,
we were
dude.
like, that spot
Wow.
won't work anymore. So across the school was a baseball field, and there's a dugout. So we were like, well, if we go in the dugout and we make
The
love,
dugout that had no fucking cover. It's literally just
I-
wired fences.
yeah. And I brought a blanket so that no one had to lay
Oh.
down in the dirt.
This
So when we-
gentleman.
So when we made love,
Guy.
we were pretty much hidden unless someone walked by the dugout. Like you couldn't see from a distance.
Oh my god, I have a story to tell after that.
So-
Go on.
Yeah, we would make love in the dugout. Only a couple times did we get caught. Because one time a jogger, like a random parent, was jogging the field.
Only more than once did we
Yeah.
get caught.
And so a jogger came by and jogged by. Was like, oh my god, or like some shit like that. And I was like, almost done. And so yeah, And then another time, I think some kids actually from the school like saw us coming out of the dugout and didn't see us go in and didn't see us in the dugout. So they like put two and two together. Like, why are they so low in the dugout? And then they started
they're
like,
just like hanging out. Are they coming up with fucking plays or some hand signs and shit? Like,
yep. And
what
then
are
the
they
first time I did it, I remember I went back to class. The only issue with the dugout was I was always hungry because I couldn't eat lunch. So we'd have to go have sex or make love. And so instead of making love, I'd have to choose between food and love making. And I chose love making every time. And the couple times I didn't, she would get mad at me.
No
like,
wonder
oh,
you're so thin. You're just fucking all the time.
That's honestly probably what started my skinny genetics. Is they're like, oh, are you missing meals? Unless pussy's a meal, I'm missing it.
Too much calorie burn in there.
Yeah, dude. And it gets hot. There's no AC or
I
a
was gonna
fan
say,
in the
what do you do
dugout.
when it was a hot day?
You just sweat.
Did you bring any portable fans for her and like just like set
Dude,
it down?
that-
You're like,
could
I
you
got the
imagine-
blanket and the
Could you imagine if I came to school and you opened my backpack and you saw like portable fans, like misters, like all that shit? And they're like, what is all this? I'm like, oh, for when I fuck at lunch, it's like 90 degrees outside. So I need to
like
bring
lockers,
this.
like a picture of your girlfriend and like 3 misters hanging down.
Dude, and then my mom would always catch my condoms. And she was like, I'm going to throw these out.
Wait, that sounded really weird for a second.
No, like she would. So I had like a Yoshi backpack.
She's like throwing them away. And she's like,
No, like so
She's like,
no. So I
Odell
had
Beckham
a
in
Yoshi,
the
a Yoshi backpack. So it had like one zipper. It was like
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
cool. And so she'd open it, and boom, there are all the condoms like sitting at the top. And she was like,
So
"I'm
she
gonna."
found the condom
Yes, she
stash.
found them.
That's a lot better
She
wording.
caught me with condoms, and so she'd be like, "I'm gonna throw these out." I'm like, "I'm still gonna have sex."
yeah, I
So
don't get
you're
why
gonna
that's
be a
like
grandma.
parent's. I don't get why that's like a parent's like mindset. It's like, oh, my kid's having sex. He's using protection. Not in this household.
Yeah, like when she was like, "I'm gonna take the condoms," I was like, "I already got a taste of the forbidden fruit. I'm gonna go back for seconds. It's just gonna be with or without protection."
I am Eve and she is the apple. I'm fucking diving in.
But she never stole them. She's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yep, going to keep
Dude.
doing it."
There,
And then I became a
there's-
horn dog.
There's this girl I dated in high school, and she went to Irvine High, so like 4 miles away. And
Is
I-
this
I
the
would-
one you and Jet are Eskimo bros with?
Yeah,
We have to have Jet on the podcast.
I know. I want to
and
have
just
Jet on
talk
purely
about
for
this.
this. Yeah, I mean for the
Oh.
whole like my whole relationship with Jet is podcast worthy.
By the way,
Like-
guys, just for future reference, Jet is now gay. So Mitchell is Eskimo bros with a gay man.
Hell yeah, I'm 3 dicks separated from another dick. But
Dude, that's kind of hot. You might have been in
I'm-
Jet's ass and you didn't even know it.
it depends. Yeah, it depends on what way they were fucking. You know, if she was.
She
Fucking
might have pegged him.
But anyways, so it's like 4 miles away. So I'd like bike over there, and like side note, before like we'd hook up a lot. The amount of times I would have to bike home with fucking jizz in my shorts was way too often. Like it would be fucking crusty shorts. And I'm biking home. But that aside, we were
Should have gotten a dugout.
well, so one of the times we hooked up, we were like, where's a good hookup spot? And we were like looking, it was like middle of the day. And at Irvine High, there's like these squash courts, you know? And so like
No, I don't.
it's
It's
like
a fucking squash. Isn't that
it's
a
like
vegetable?
it's like tennis but inside, you know? Like everybody hits it with the hand. It's like the thing that you see in
Oh,
old
by the
white
park.
people movies.
Oh, are those courts that are just glass?
Not
Where you
glass,
can
like
see into them?
in movies, yeah, but like it
Oh.
was just concrete.
Okay.
And it had like a concrete wall. So we're like, fuck it, this one's open, let's go in here. And like I think I like took off her shirt, I was like feeling her up and she was like giving me a hand job and shit. And this dude like walks in because I didn't fucking lock the door. And he just sees and I was like, oh, sorry.
This isn't squash.
Yeah. Whoa, she's squashing the wrong balls. Fucking, but fucking ended up having to leave. But the dude just straight up saw like everything, and we had to like walk out in front of him. That
I wouldn't have
shit
left. I'd be like, this is my
Shoulda
court.
asked him to get in.
Yeah, or that. Been like,
But
you want a
I like
threesome?
it just makes me think of like
Oh, I
as
never
I get
left.
older, as I get older, am I gonna have to worry about watching like 15-year-olds fuck in public at some point? Like I'm just gonna be
Dude.
minding my own business, and like I'm gonna just see these fucking kids fucking in public because they don't have a house to go to and a bed.
He
Bro.
might be more concerned seeing them record it. It might be like a TikTok move or some shit.
That'd be
You're
a
like,
weird
oh,
TikTok.
what are the kids doing these days?
Bro.
Oh,
One time, so this is the first time I've ever done this. I was like 17. So Matt actually went to the jacuzzi with me and this girl who shall remain unnamed. And then like we were hanging out, and then like it was just really cringy stuff. And so she's like, "Oh, I want to come over right now." So being a 17-year-old, being a cringy sexter, I was like, "Okay, my bed has no rules, no clothes." And like all this stuff because I didn't think she'd come. I really didn't. And
yeah.
so
I usually don't think girls are into
yeah,
either,
and
but
so she's like, "I really want to come over." I was like, "I wish you," and I was like, I wasn't saying come over. I was like, "Yeah, I wish you could," like all this shit, like
yeah,
because I shared
just
a bedroom with Trey, and my mom was like 5 feet down the hall, and so I was like, "Yeah, come over." Like, I wish you could, like, not actually come over. Then she texted, "I'm outside," and I was like, "I wish you were," and then she's like, "No, I really am outside," and so I'm like, "How the fuck?" I've never had to sneak a girl in. So my dumbass, I dead ass was about to just open the front door and just be like, "Yeah, come on in," and hope it didn't wake up my mom. And Aaron is like, "All right, come on in." But I was like, "Okay, I
be
can't."
like, oh, I really had to fart, and so I opened the door so that none of you guys would have to deal with it.
So I open the window. And she hops in the window. Trey's out right next to my bed. Our room wasn't big.
Hell yeah.
And so we crawl up to my loft bed. And so
Oh,
again,
yeah, top bunk, let's go.
my confidence over sexting is not the same as my confidence in the bedroom. So
Oh,
we're
hell
like
no, it
making
never
out and
is.
stuff like that. And she goes, "I thought the rules with your bed were no clothes." And I was like, I like froze up. I was like, "Oh, yeah, no clothes. Yeah." I was like, "Fuck." And so like she gets naked, I get naked. Again, Trey is right next to me. And
Well,
my
she's not
mom
under
bright
you, so you're
young
not
mind.
fucking.
and my mom could walk in at any second. And so like it was the weirdest sexual encounter ever. I thought we were gonna have sex. We weren't. And then I got some wild oral lovemaking. I was like mind blown. Like I've never had oral like that in my life. And I successfully snuck her out, and I was like, holy shit, like I was sweating my ass off. I was like, what the fuck? And then she texted me after, and she's like, "Oh, like I never do that. Like I never do that with guys. We're never doing that again." I was like, I was just being like falsely sexting. Like I
I
never
was
do that.
capping.
Yeah. I was like, I never do that. And she's like, "You're just a player. You probably always do this." And I was like, when you said you were outside, I literally said, "Oh yeah, I wish you were." Like I didn't actually think that meant I'm literally outside of your house at 2 a.m.
She should have knocked on the window and be like, "I'm here."
Dude, I was like, so I never sexted her again because I was like, this could
Like,
turn
she's just gonna
real.
show up.
Yeah, I was like, this could turn real really fast. And I'm not prepped for the amount of confidence I have when I'm sitting there jerking my dick that I have when I'm not.
Dude.
Like, my confidence
Post nut
swaps.
clarity can sometimes hit before you nut, and it's as soon as the girl arrives.
Yeah. I'm like, "Oh yeah, like I want to do this. I want to do this." Then she gets there. I'm like, well, we can like kiss, make out a little bit. And then she's like, "What about this?" I'm like, "Yeah, like that was like in the fantasy, like when my brother and mom aren't in my house or next to me. That was what I wanted to do." But dude, and then Matt has weird stories with sex too. He's the blood king. He's the blood prince.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I mean, if you need me to loosen you up, I can tell another sex story real quick.
Matt is the
I'll
blood
let you
prince.
lead. I'll let you lead.
All right, so I'll tell this story because Tyler was talking about how he was sweating profusely because his brother and his mom were like at the same house.
Oh,
So
I know this story.
So the first time I ever had sex, I got caught. Like, not in the act, but like it was over and the girl was still at my house. And so like we were laying in my bed like cuddling because my mom was supposed to be gone for like multiple hours, and she was gone for like 45 minutes. And like we had done it like once. I had never done it. Hooked up with like this chick, like random chick, basically. Fucking found her on Scout, like the app, which is like fucking Tinder, but like before Tinder. Like I was like 15 at the time, like sophomore in high school, I think. And my mom comes home, and like in my house, there's the front door. You walk in, the living room's on the left. My room is on the right, and then there's like the rest of the house.
Mm-hmm.
But my room doesn't have a door.
Yeah,
like,
it had the.
I have like the sliding, like, because it was supposed to be an office. Like it's like a 1-bedroom house with an office essentially. And so like my room was in the office, and so she was like, my bed's like literally right in the doorway, and my mom thankfully doesn't fucking turn to the right when she walks in, because I just hear, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what do I do? Like, I have no shirt on. I have my boxers and basketball shorts on. The girl's like naked in my bed, and my mom just like walks by. So I like get up and I'm like, so mom, like, what are you doing home? Like, what the fuck? Like, aren't you supposed to leave? And she's like, do you have somebody over? And I was like, why would you think that? Like, I'm just talking with you, like being totally suspicious. And my mom could tell I had somebody over, and I was drenched in sweat. Like, my back was fucking
I was watching Cops.
like, I was so nervous, because, like, my mom is super, like, anti, like, drugs, anti-sex, like, all that shit. Like, especially back then. So I was
I
just
hope
like,
she doesn't watch this podcast.
I'm like, she better not. But I was like, I'm fucked. And so, like, luckily I was, like, distracting my mom for, like, 15, 20 minutes, and the girl, like, got dressed and everything. And then she's like, well, she can leave now. Like, you guys can leave. And so, like, the girl, like, walked, and she's like, nice. My mom was like, nice to meet you. And even though, like, she never, like, just being, like, real passive-aggressive, and I walked out with this girl. And I just, like, we walked from, like, my house to Woodbridge. We, like, walked around for, like, half an hour. I walked her. Then she came back home. Or she, like, we went back to my place. She got in the car, left, and I kept walking. I was like, I'm not fucking going home for I don't know how long. I have no intention of going home. And, I would have been out for 3 days if I had to be. And my mom ended up texting me, and she's like, are you going to come home soon? And I'm like, if I'm in trouble, no. Like, I'm just gonna stay out. I don't. This is my last
I'll never come back.
Freedom. Yeah. And she was like, "Well," she's like, "You're in trouble, but like, we'll go to dinner and a movie and like talk about it and everything."
She's giving you your own.
What?
She's giving you your own date, dinner and a movie.
We just went to dinner. We went to California Pizza Kitchen. My mom like had the talk with me, and I was like, "I know, like, I just did it, like." I used protection, and then we saw a movie, and that was like the end of it, and I was fucking terrified. But
dude,
that was like my first time ever having sex, and
I've only been
movie though.
Yeah, what was the movie? Was it 50 Shades?
No, I have no idea. Not a
dude.
clue.
I only got caught once. I only got caught once, and it was when we lived with my parents. They were out. They were seeing family. So like, yeah, we'll probably not be back till like 9 o'clock. Around like 6. Yeah, so around like 6:37, Chris are like, and I were like, yeah, let's get it on. And so we're like just starting. Like, I'm just going in. We're just kind of having sex. And then I didn't hear them come in the door. Like, they were purposefully being sneaky. And then they're coming upstairs, and then Caprice just goes, Daddy. And then I hear my mom, Tyler? And I was like, oh! And I was like, hold on! I locked the door, and they were like trying to get in there. Tyler? And I was like, oh shit! And so I like put on clothes, like, yeah, what's up? And they're like, were you guys having sex? I was like, no, we were watching a movie. And they're like, we heard Caprice say something. I was like, she's probably like, yeah, that's why I'm going downstairs to get some food. She's probably saying I'm hungry. And like... It was so bad, man. I was like, no way. It was so embarrassing. Nothing else happened. I refused to talk to him about it. I went down, grabbed food, went up, locked the door, didn't say a word.
They never mentioned it again.
Nope.
They didn't even hear the daddy.
They probably did, and I did not want to be brought up. I was like, maybe she was talking to Aaron, because he's
How
dad.
long did Caprice stay in that room afterwards?
Till the morning, and then she went to school the next morning, and we didn't see her until the next night. Did not say a word. Didn't text her. Nothing. I didn't say shit. I kept my mouth shut. Caprice did too. I was like, do not text her. Don't say a word.
Just let it ride.
Yeah, I was like, just let her forget. And
That's probably smart.
I hope to God they forgot. They might have not. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, Daddy ain't a movie scene.
I mean,
That
it
was bad.
Say
was
it was
just a-
mockingly. It was acting. She's doing acting classes.
If she asked, I'd say it was me. But did it sound like Daddy? Like, yeah, that was me.
It. That's it.
Like, yeah, that was me making fun of him.
We were just making fun of these losers, dude.
Matt's turn.
Yep.
Oh boy. Let's see. We'll go. Was it the February?
Forgot the date now.
Yeah,
Was it the
February
second
5th.
or the 20th
I think it was-
massacre?
Yeah, I think it was the second, February 2nd massacre. That shit was
I don't have
awesome.
the date.
Dude,
Dude,
it was a
was-
legit massacre.
I thought I walked into a murder scene. It
He's
started
the
off
blood
a
prince.
good night. I'm probably the blood king at this point. The amount of times I've had to say I got nosebleeds and I need help on how to clean out things. But anyways, so we were having a good time. We were just chilling in my bed. We watched TV, a little frisky. Started showing how great my hands were. And then, sure enough, the white light of the TV flashes. I see my hand. I'm like, I'm not. I don't have any cuts on my fingers. What is this? So initially, I just stopped. 'Cause I'm like, okay, like, thing is going on here, or I was not information about a certain time of the month, probably. So I go to the bathroom. I go wash off my hands. Meanwhile, my brother and his 3 friends were out of their minds downstairs. And I come back to the room, and first thing I yell is, "Oh my fucking god, what happened here?" I see a blood and a fucking trail that goes around my bed and the rest of the fucking room. And I see her just sitting there, like, oopsie. I was like, what the fuck
Oops.
happened here? And she's like,
Oh.
I'm bleeding. I was like, I can tell. Did somebody die here? Is there a body on the opposite side of the bed? I go check. There's nothing there. I'm like, are you okay? Are you going to live? I was like, are you having your lady time or something? I didn't think so. I was like, what do you mean you don't think so? Don't you like have this like kind of down to like you know when it's gonna happen?
She's like, it's the first time.
It was a fucking humorous trail going down, and
man.
I had no clue how to get blood out of a fucking carpet. So I called my mom. I said I hit my head on the fucking wall. I ran into the wall messing around, and I had a nosebleed. And I the carpet. How do I get it out?
If I was
So-
Denise and I saw that much blood, I would have
she
been
didn't
like,
see it.
oh, I would have
shock.
been like, we need to take you to the ER because you were about to bleed out.
Yeah, I mean, like it was a fucking trail. I mean, like a trail like this thick of fucking blood just going around in a pool like this, just sitting there.
Just fucking cover it. What do
You
like,
would have thought O.J. Simpson just left my house and he delivered
like-
cookies.
Like, I'm sure you would have been pissed, but like if it's that bad, just take one of your shirts and fucking tie it around your.
That's what I'm
waist, you
saying,
know?
bro. Put on a diaper, grab underwear, grab a sock.
Dude,
Like,
Like,
don't
just-
walk around the bed.
in my head, it was like probably what happened if there was a camera in that room where she's like, oh shit, nothing here. I'm sit. And then I fucking came in as she sits there and I was like, what the fuck happened here?
Oh,
Then
dude.
I go downstairs to get all the cleaning supplies. And my brother and his brother, what the fuck you have all that shit for, dude? I fucking come down and there's like a bloody ass towel that I did. So she's like, oh shit, dude, like what the fuck happened up there? Like,
Oh,
did you guys like get like what happened? I'm like, had a nosebleed. And then there's like, oh okay, and Oh, that is. I'll leave it at that one story of blood because yeah, it
You have
was.
more than one.
The only other
Oh, I
funny
have
story was he was
many.
fucking during the Super Bowl, and me and his mom were downstairs. Literally, it goes to commercial breaks. You know how sometimes it gets dead fucking silent.
Yeah, like, for
So it
like
got
half a
dead
second,
silent.
yeah.
All I hear is, ah! And then me and his mom look at each other. I was like, was that you? And she's like, what, me? And then he's like, Matthew, keep it down. He comes downstairs. We're like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, everything's fine. Like, you're smiling quite a fucking bit. He's like, I'm not smiling. I'm just chilling.
Should have come down with a boombox that's like, I just had said.
That was probably the equivalent of what it was. It was such a dead fucking giveaway.
Oh,
It was
dude,
like
yeah.
literally written all over my face.
Yeah,
But
he's literally
I still stand by. I
smiling.
was stretching and she was cheering for the teams and a crazy play happened.
Yeah,
And they just
literally
think some other stuff happened.
walked down some shit-eating grin the entire way, did not lose the grin, walks into the kitchen, grabs a snack, comes out, still smiling, sits down smiling. We're like, all right, are you good? Because you can't stop smiling. He's like, I just think it's funny. We're like, what's funny? He's
Dude,
like,
when you stretch a lot, you need like yoga and stuff. You need a snack.
oh man, it was awesome.
You just like get a whole like gallon of orange juice. You're just chugging it. And you're like,
Dude, I could have had a
Bro.
Gatorade sponsor.
Bro, he once I was having sex in his house, and he once had his girlfriend fake moaning upstairs so that these two creep dicks
That was not my idea.
could crawl down and watch us have sex. How weird is that?
No, it was a balcony view.
I was gonna say it's weird that like you were having sex in a place where like multiple people were, but at the same time, like I have no
They
shame,
told
so,
us
like,
to.
I would do
They
it.
were
Hey,
angry.
you
Like, oh,
guys
yeah.
had a choice.
Bro,
You
they were
had
like,
a
yeah,
choice.
you guys should have sex. You guys should have sex. We're like, we're not having sex with you guys fucking listening. And so she starts moaning. So we're like, all right, we're good to go. No, we weren't good to go. They were faking it so they could watch. It's like free porn. Nowadays, that would be an OnlyFans shoot.
Hey, see, ahead of our time.
Yeah, true. You got it for free. Could have charged them $5 a month.
Just, like, I need
And
to
my
put
ex at that
Fiverr.
time probably would have been down. Honest to God.
I mean, who isn't down? If you're doing, why not just film what you're already doing and then make a little bit of money off it?
Dude, Caprice would never be down. Ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
I would love. I would date an OnlyFans.
Trey just
girl and
recently
be her-
thought
her
she
sugar
started
baby
one.
so fast.
My
Like
brother
Caprice
just thought
did?
she, yeah, because so he
'Cause
got,
he's like looking on
t-
OnlyFans and he's like,
oh,
tired
so
of
I
his
didn't,
life.
no, so I didn't tell you this story. It's a good thing. I told Matt. So I guess on Twitter, I've never gotten this notification before,
Mhm.
but supposedly, you could let me know if this is true. If a contact of yours joins, it will let you know, like, hey, your contact, this phone number just joined Twitter.
Yeah.
So I guess a contact joined Twitter, but it doesn't show you what phone number. So he found it, and the name was like Bella something, and then it deleted, and then he went on a hunt through our buddy, that's a porn star. His
Yeah.
followers. This dude has 125,000 followers, by the way. So don't ask me how he found the person again. So they made it again, and then it was again Bella something. And he was like, I found it again. But they blocked me, Trey. I think that's it. I don't know if he had
Yeah.
other people looking for it, but they blocked who he had looking for it. And so he's like, oh, I think it's this person that we talked to in Discord. And then I guess he found it again because like I was cleaning up that day or something. Like I was making
Yeah.
food because him and Matt like went to the golf course. And then he texts me again. He's like, be honest, did Caprice start an OnlyFans? I won't tell a soul. And I was like, no. She wants to work in special ed. That would literally destroy any chance of her having a career. So no, she didn't. She couldn't. Like she would not risk that. And he goes, are you sure? He goes, that makes me more sus that you said that because as you were typing that account got deleted. And I was like, but I was typing to you. So how would I delete an account? And he's like, and I was like cleaning the apartment, and he goes, well, that's just a weird coincidence. And I was like, I mean, you could be sus about it. Like, sure, go
I feel
ahead.
like
Like,
it's weirder that you're fucking refreshing this shit every 30
yeah,
seconds
I was
to
like,
find that
dude,
out.
yeah, I was like, you could be sus about it. Like, I don't care. It's not affecting me, you being sus. I'm just telling you, asked me a question, I'm just answering. And
Yeah.
I was like, so, like, yeah, there's your answer. Like, I don't really have a, like, defense. Like, if you think it's her, you think it's her. If you don't, you don't. Like, I don't know. I don't have much of a defense. And he's like, I'm trying to find out who it is. She's, like, my strongest suspect. I was like, okay. Like, sure. Okay, she's your suspect. He's like, well, what if Caprice deleted it? And I was like, she's at work. I don't think she'd go on an OnlyFans Twitter with nudes on it in front of a client. That'd probably be a pretty bad idea. That'd be even worse than risking her career. She'd get fired. And he's like, well, I guess I'm a bad detective. Like, I think he was trying to like eke me out and being like, no, you caught us. But I was like, dude, like, it wasn't us. Like, because I've told Caprice, like, I was like, I'd be down if you did it. Why not? Fuck it.
Make some extra money, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, she made a good point. Like, we're both going into education. Probably be pretty bad if they did a background check. Like, you want to work with special ed? Nice body. And they're like, and then I try and get a job. They're like, hey, Tyler, you got a nice cock over there on that OnlyFans. I'm like, oh, yeah. You like it? To get me a job? No, but keep it up because you don't have a job.
hope that takes off because this isn't.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, like I was like, no, like she wouldn't do it. Like Caprice is very careful. Like she's a very like anxious person. So I was like, yeah, dude, she wouldn't do that unless there was like she had a hitman where it's like if Trey found out, like she could hire the hitman to kill him.
Yeah, just
so that he's silenced. Yeah. So like if anyone found out that she knew, it's like they're dead. There's no trace.
She's lasagna, you know? Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Yeah. And I was also telling Trey, I was like, bro, I was like, one, if Caprice did, I wouldn't make it a day later because I know your creepy ass is going to still be searching through 125,000 followers to try and find her. And two,
that's so weird.
Yeah, I was like, and two, I'd make it much less suspect when I made it. Like, I wouldn't be like I wouldn't make it if we were trying to hide it. Why would I ever make it under her phone number?
Yeah,
that's like the least.
Attach your phone number to an account like that.
Like, we ain't trying to hide in plain sight. Like, hiding in plain sight doesn't work in that situation. Hiding in plain sight fails.
Yeah.
And so, dude, he's probably still refreshing the followers as we speak, looking for this account. Which is, so this is the funny part. I was like, you seem to like those titties quite a bit. And he's like, no, they were average. I'm like, then why are you refreshing every 3 seconds, stalking this person? Because you are obsessed with them. And he's like, well, it's just all I saw. I was like, then why do you keep looking? Because you are searching. He's like, because I'm a detective. I was like, go with that. Yeah.
He just doesn't have anything better to do.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, dude, because you're a detective. If I thought titties were ugly, I'd be like, I don't care who that is, but they got ugly titties. So I ain't looking again.
Even if they have average titties, I'm not looking
again. Yeah. Like if I'm on
that much work for average.
Bro, if I'm already on Twitter, you can find a bunch of great titties.
Yeah.
Like you can't
have a whole burner account.
And he's looking through a gay porn star's following. So like you're putting in effort to find titties that you don't think were that great.
Yeah.
Matt would put in that effort, but
120,000, that's too many, man.
Bro, that's a lot of
nowadays
to
find titties. It's no point in putting that much effort.
I could Google it right now.
That's why I don't understand the OnlyFans thing to begin. Like, you've really got to like somebody to like go out of your way for that shit. To me, that makes like no sense.
That's my thing. Like, why would you pay $10, $15 a month,
dude,
to see what you can see for free?
And it's from it's from one girl, and two, like $5 is like the minimum I see. But like you said, like 10, 15, like I've seen like $20 a month for some girls' OnlyFans. I'm like, bro, like, I get that you want to make money and you value yourself, but like, you're not like on the internet that's full of free porn. Like, do you think you have a $20 value a month when I can
Dudes will
get
Bro,
pay it though.
all
That's the
this for
crazy
free?
thing.
and
Like,
I was asking Justin, like, why do people pay this? Because I've always been curious. And he's like, bro, he goes, honestly, he goes, I guess the reason most people will pay is because on OnlyFans, it's more personable. So, like,
yeah,
you're
they make like a
talking
lot
to
of
your porn
custom
star.
content sometimes.
Yeah. So, like, you can ask for custom content for X. Like, Justin told me he came in briefs. So he came in them, sold them for $150.
That's so weird.
And
Dude,
so, like,
imagine if in like
and
9
people
months
will
he finds out he
respond to
has a
you.
fucking kid.
So, like, people will respond to him. Like, he'll be like, yeah, like, if they message me and, like, say, oh my God, I love your content, like, I'll respond to them. Like, I guess if you think about it, like, I've never been that big in porn,
Yeah.
but, like, I guess if you really like porn, like, if Mia Khalifa was like, hey, like, I'll send you a personal video, like, I'm
I
sure
get
some
it.
dudes would pay it, but for me, it's like, I feel like I would represent a majority, not a minority, because, like, some of these chicks are making, like,
I mean,
I
what
think,
was it like Bella Thorne or was it Bella Thorne? Somebody made like had like $1 million in like the first 24 hours.
yeah, Bella
Like,
Thorne. Because they
yeah,
thought it was going to be nudes and it wasn't. She just scammed
yeah,
them.
like I get following like some sort of celebrity like that or whatever, but it's just like it's like what we talked about in like the first week or whatever, where if I'm gonna subscribe to you, like whatever content you put out, like whether it be sexual, whether it be like a podcast, because it's not that different than a Patreon, except for like an OnlyFans is like dedicated sex Patreon, but like whatever it is,
Soon it won't be.
no, I think they reversed it for at least.
They
a
didn't
couple
reverse
months.
it. They suspended that plan.
Yeah, but like for me to spend $5 to $10 a month on somebody, it's like you have to put out dope shit, and like I'll admit there's some porn stars that I'm like, God damn, but like the content you make is amazing, but I'm also not gonna be like, I'm like you have enough free content that I'm perfectly fine not paying.
Yeah, and that's my thing, man. It's like I just couldn't see myself doing it. Like unless it was someone I knew that I had a thing for. Like
Yeah,
if
like somebody from high
she
school.
started one, I would subscribe. Why not? But like I don't get like the point of like, yeah, I subscribe to all these OnlyFans creators. Like I saw this other creator put out her numbers from like when she first started like 9 months ago.
Mhm.
And it like showed her total earned. She's made over $1 million in less than a year. And that's
It's
after her fees. So that's her money.
it's
Like,
ridiculous, like how much money they make.
bro,
It really is.
I was like, dude, like
Like I don't hate on. It's the same as again going to a previous conversation. Like the Twitch streamers, like I don't hate them for getting paid. It's just wild that people are paying.
I was like Matt uses his Prime, but
Yeah,
and like I only do it for like certain
use a
streamers.
Prime sub for fucking OnlyFans. Hell yeah.
I mean, if I could do it,
I'd
link
use
up with
that
Amazon. I'll Prime sub.
I
I've
would
always wanted to see
100%.
Corinna Kopp naked.
I would
Let me get a
100%
Prime.
use a Prime sub on an OnlyFans over a Twitch sub. Fucking Nick Merckx is gonna lose 60,000 followers because everyone's gonna use it on some fucking porn star.
I know Matt would for sure.
Never. I've never even opened that site before. I just don't get it. I really don't. Like, but I mean, hey, more power to those girls making their money. Get
Bro,
that.
yeah.
That's the thing. Like I don't
And I don't
I
hate
don't-
on it. Yeah, I don't hate
like,
on
I
OnlyFans.
don't hate the hustle. I don't hate the OnlyFans. It's literally just the people paying. Like I don't.
There's
I don't
enough
understand
weird
it.
dudes out there that there's no shortage of that. Like, I feel
Bro.
like ever going away.
Like, okay, so bro, there are like Instagram accounts that are dedicated to feet. Like just a girl taking pictures of her feet.
Oh, the
They
amount
have
of
like 800,000 followers. Their OnlyFans is like popping, and it's literally just feet. Bro, go to a public pool. You
I've
can
like
see all the
told,
feet you want.
I've told like attractive like Starbucks coworkers that'll like complain about money. I'm like, just make a fucking OnlyFans and sell feet pics and shit. Like,
Yeah.
It's like
You
it's
could
like
stay.
you're not doing anything. Nobody knows it's you. Like, and
I
you
mean,
make
Trey would
fucking.
try and find him, but that's about it.
But it's like you're gonna make. You could
Shit,
make
I'll sell
stupid
some
amounts
feet
of money
pics.
for. Yeah, for doing nothing.
Bro, I would
Like,
definitely be down to shave my feet, paint them, and pretend I'm a female.
like, do you fucking paint your toenails?
Dude,
No,
if
I'd
you're
go get them
making
done.
you're making some money doing feet pics, bro. Why not?
Yeah, like, because I'm like, I get not being able to do like an OnlyFans where you're like mentally you're like I don't want to show myself nude to the world, but it's like you do feet pics like you like there's like I mean guys can do it too because there's enough weird people in the world that like there is a market for everything.
Yeah.
And like, there's people that are willing to spend.
I should just
on
take
whatever.
videos of me taking shits. Maybe that'll make some money. Be like,
If you
hey
can
guys,
market yourself to the right people, you could probably make like $10,000 a year.
oh, that was a big one.
Like, I'm sure there's somebody that would be into it. Like,
Matt was into scat play.
Oh,
He used to
no.
he used to show it off. We were at
The
Andrew and
gem.
Gerald's house.
Oh no, dude, they had some weird shit they showed me.
Bro, I
Dude,
couldn't do it.
I saw one scat video accidentally, and I was fucking traumatized.
Yeah, accidentally.
Like, fucking literally never again. Like, where I was just like, that is fucking disgusting.
Two girls,
Like,
one cup.
Never
saw
seen
that.
it.
I've heard stories and I've seen like some slight like clips, but I could not stomach that.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Like the Pain Olympics, because I've never seen any of that stuff either. But I was like big when we were like middle school, high school, or like probably more middle school.
Bro, I was like very prude. I didn't jerk off until I was 13.
Dude, the first time I did and stuff came out.
Maybe even 14. I literally thought I was gonna die because like that feeling you get when you orgasm. I was like, I think I'm gonna vomit. Wait, what's happening? I was like, I'm never jerking off again. That was horrible.
And then you did.
And then I got addicted. And my mom's Victoria's Secret magazines used to stick together. She's like, I want to order these. She's like, oh, this page is like fucking glued together. Like, yeah, that's where I laid my babies to rest.
So would she wash her hands afterwards, or?
No, she'd usually like grab like a finger food and.
Oh, that is wrong on so many different levels.
So you need help, Tyler.
Bro, I didn't know porn existed. The first time I watched porn was Veronica Stone because she was supposed to be my teacher. That was the first time I ever watched it, and I was like, ew.
I don't even know who that is.
Like, I literally did not
like
want
one of the math teachers at
Woodbridge. I did not want anything
It sounds
sexual
familiar, but
at all until I was like 15.
Well, Veronica Stone was her porn name.
yeah.
Like, I remember dudes talking about, like, dude, this chick sucked my dick. I was like, that's disgusting. And they're like, what? And I was like, oh, no, that's sick, bro. I was like, yeah.
Let's go, dude. Let's lit.
Yeah, and like in my head, I was like, who the fuck like would
Like,
want a
I
girl to
fucking
do
pee
that?
out of there. Like,
Yeah.
What?
What if dude, that was a legitimate fear. I was like, what if I accidentally pee in her mouth?
Hell yeah, dude.
I didn't realize that, like,
extra water.
bro,
That's how you
I was
survive,
so
Bear
prude.
Grylls.
I was so prude.
I was competitive. Like, I heard Baker had sex over like a spring break, like going into 8th grade, or no, going into high school.
Damn.
And I was like, this dude is having sex and I'm not? Fuck no.
I just thought it was gross. Bro, in high school, I didn't date a girl that wasn't a virgin. I wouldn't.
I feel that though. That's like a high school thing though.
Yeah, I was
That
like,
way
that's
you're like-
gross. I don't want to
Really?
taste his cock. So that was like the biggest insult was like, how's my dick taste? And then like, I remember like, I was like, I don't ever want to be in that position to know. I don't want to know how your dick tastes. But
Alright.
I never got that far. And then
Give me-
Caprice, I tasted a lot of dicks. All right. Well, now that the sex talk is over with, let's talk about some topics. This
Hell
one,
yeah.
Matt kind of explained it to me on our pee break.
So here we go.
Richest person in a broke neighborhood versus brokest person in a rich neighborhood. Like, is that
Yep.
would you rather?
Yeah, like would you rather be rich in a broke neighborhood or broke in a rich
I've already
neighborhood?
been the brokest person in a rich neighborhood, so I'd choose that again.
That's where your comfort zone is.
Yeah. And I don't want to get jacked. What the fuck? I'd rather be the mooch, not be the moochie.
I feel.
You know how many free lunches Matt, Cole, who else bought? No, it was mainly Matt and Cole bought me lunch. You know how many times?
At
Fucking
least two.
hundreds, thousands maybe.
What about you? What about you, Matt? Would you rather be the richest person in a broke neighborhood or brokest in a rich?
Probably. I mean, so my parents are divorced. It'd be like is there's a discrepancy in income, so I've been on both spectrums, but I feel like I'd
Yeah.
rather be the probably the brokest and the rich, because I feel like in the end, even the rich kids, they like feeling like I feel like it became like kind of like a trend to like who's had more trauma or shit in their life, or like kind of like a oh I'm like on this broke vibe, like randomly like destroyed shit, like destroyed shirts and shorts and pants became like a fucking style and shit.
Wait, if you're broke,
It
who would I mooch off of?
no, but that's
Boosh
a
each
hundred
other.
percent. That's 100% true though. Is like when you have life like when life's going good, like too good, you almost try to like invent your own trauma.
Yeah,
Like
people try to fuck that shit up for whatever reason. It's like
yeah, they're like no, my life isn't that easy and perfect. Like it's fucking awful.
I think it's like
Like
it's a kid thing though, for sure.
I don't
Like I mean,
like I don't think it's
even now,
just
I
a kid
guess,
thing
yeah.
though.
But I feel like it's more
Like
prominent during that
yeah,
time in high school, because like you don't want to be like, I mean, I guess some kids embrace being like the rich asshole at school, but
yeah.
I feel like everyone like wants to be like someone like hard, or like the
But
more kids are like that don't have a lot of money are like cooler. But
I
I
feel like a
feel like
lot of
I never.
society though tries to be like, "Oh, I've been so traumatized." And it's
well, yeah, because
like
I
we've
think a
all
lot of
dealt with
things are soft.
something, but like
Like,
have you really dealt with trauma?
yeah, like I feel like I mean I really did get lucky with like Matt's family because honest to God, like literally if I like wanted a home cooked meal, they'd just invite me over for dinner. It wouldn't even like be me asking. It would be like, "Hey Tyler, do you want some dinner?" Like sure, pizza pockets don't sound all that good tonight. And so like I guess I really never even got to complain about being broke because it didn't ever really feel like I was broke. Like if I slept at Matt's house, Denise would like get us both breakfast and like give us
Yeah,
both
sorry I couldn't
Right
snacks.
survive
about
that for
that.
you. I was also eating fucking frozen pizzas half the time.
Yeah, yeah. Even if I went to your house, it was like your
I mean,
mom
my
was like,
parents just
"Hey,"
don't cook. Like
they
they
were
would
like, "Hey,
get
do you want
food,
some
but like
dinner?"
they don't cook.
And
Yeah.
so like I never had to like really like suffer, I guess, being
Yeah.
broke.
That was the good
Like
thing about Patches, dude. Even though like we'd have the candle nights and that stuff, like he
yeah,
knew that fool was a good cook, like sick
yeah,
hands. So it was like he'd make bomb meals out of like nothing.
yeah. So I guess I never really felt being the brokest person because in Irvine, being the brokest person was not that bad. It
Yeah,
was
that's like
like,
No.
being wealthy elsewhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
It's
was like
literally
I
the
just
perfect example of like broke in a rich neighborhood versus
Yeah.
rich in
and
a
like
broke. Like
I remember I finally realized it like in high school. I remember I like told Matt and like Denise I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm mooching, and they're like, oh, you're not, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'll keep mooching. Because I was like, dude, I was like, wait, I did because when you're 13, you don't realize it. Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to my friend's house and like
yeah, like you're just
eating food. Like I didn't realize it, and then I remember my mom brought it up. She's like, "Why doesn't Matt come over here?" Blah blah. I don't want them to feel like you're mooching. I was like, "Oh shit, maybe I am mooching." And so I was like, "I'm sorry, like I don't mean to mooch." And they're like, "You're not mooching. If we didn't want to do it, we wouldn't invite you over." I was like, "Oh." And then I told them I was like, "Not mooching. They love me."
I'm their other son. I mean, that's how my mom was with like all my friends, where she's just like, yeah, like I'm like their other mom
Yeah.
that they can come to me for anything. Like even you who like we were obviously like super close growing up,
Hmm.
but then high school it was like we were always like all of us like we were always cool, but like we weren't like we were in like elementary school, like just friend groups
Yeah. You got
like
mad at me.
separated, and that was after high school. Like
You got mad at me a lot in high school because the Shelby thing,
that was middle school.
it led into high school. It creeped in there.
Yeah, but like my mom was gonna be like tight with anybody like regardless kind of thing. Like she's like, yeah, they're my other son because like I've known that like she's known them forever, and it's like regardless of shit that goes on, it's like people are still family, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's why it was so cool because I remember when I first would go over to Matt's house, like when we first started like being super close, and I go to his house, he'd like grab snacks and he's like, "You want one?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." And I'm like sitting there like fucking starving because we'd hang out for like hours. Then he's like, "You want dinner?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." And then Matt would be like, "He literally hasn't eaten," and I'd be like, "Yeah, it's all good." And then they're like, "Just eat some fucking food." And so I'd finally like start getting more and more comfortable where I'd like, "Is it cool if I grab a snack?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't fucking care." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I go grab a snack, and then the mooching began.
Dude, Denise's
Well,
house always has the best snacks. I
Oh,
swear to God.
bro, Denise's snacks slapped. She had one for every mood. She had the jerky, the pretzels, the chips. The fuck. I mean, Mitchell's mom had snacks on deck too. She had the boxes of goldfish because fucking
Fucking-
Mitchell
Dude,
and I
back
would
when
just
I could have goldfish, I miss those
bro
days.
Bro, Matt,
fistfuls.
remember when we were playing fucking what was it, like GoldenEye or some shit one
Yeah.
day? Fucking goldfish until like 4 in the morning.
Yup, we had this
Bro.
big ass box. You gotta get the Costco box where
Yep.
it's like the 3 in there. Dude, those, oh my gosh,
Oh.
I remember that.
Bro, I remember the most elite thing I ever saw was I went to Mitchell's house. We were playing like Halo or like Battlefront, and Mitchell's just fucking downing this box, and he like
No,
ran
I,
out.
like-
I knew he ran out because he stopped, and he was like, "Mom," and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm out of goldfish." And she's like, "Okay," and he goes, "How are Tyler and I gonna play games? I'm out." And she's like, she literally opens the cupboard, grabs another fresh fucking box off the top, and I was like, "Okay, that's fucking elite. I need my mom to do that. Like that is elite." And she like grabbed it.
That
She's like,
makes
"Do you
me
want
sound
bowls?"
so spoiled, but it's like my mom would just have 2 of everything.
Yeah. She's like, "Do you guys want bowls?" And Mitchell's like, "Then what if we want more? Like the bowls only, it's a means to an end. We need the box." And I'm like, "Yeah, we need the box."
Facts though.
Bro, my mom, I try to eat so much healthier now, but it would have snacks on deck of like goldfish, fruit roll-ups, Pop Tarts, fucking
Bro, I even
all the
have
unhealthiest shit.
I even have healthy snacks now that are just too far. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting really hungry now.
I feel I'm gonna need to eat soon because I didn't eat enough. But
Bro, I'm getting hungry.
so Tyler, tell us about giving head to guy.
Never happened.
Oh,
But
I mean,
if it did, I'd have a story to tell.
Alright, what about the morning lift one?
Okay, morning lift is really boring.
Was
We were
it?
there at fucking 5 a.m.
dude, I'm so glad
You
that I
had some
fucking
energy
had
though.
I had my career-ending pinky injury. Fucking never showed up to football.
Bro, this
again.
was senior year. This wasn't freshman year.
Yeah,
This
I'm
was
so
senior.
glad I fucking quit freshman year.
Fucking. So I'm at morning lift, right? I've been going for at least a month at this point because I went to morning lift for like a month and a half before I was like, "Fuck this, I'm out." I went out. It was like a month in, and so, bro, I'm starting to feel close with the boys again. You know, all my football friends, like we're back, we're better than ever, and so you know, talks are out, and so you know, I decided to surprise someone.
In the back.
And so I tuck everything and then squeeze my thighs together. So you just see a little head and then a little nutsack hanging out my butt cheeks. And so my buddy's like picking stuff up, like to get clothes ready for his shower. And so I walk over and I bend over in front of him. He's like, "Tyler, get your ass out of my face." I was like, "Check it out." And he looks up. He's like, "Oh my God, there's a dick there. There's some balls." He like freaks out. And then I turned around and I was like, "Check it out, chicken wing."
It's what's the movie? It's fucking like I know you said one earlier, but fucking it happened in a recent movie. like Adam Devine from like Workaholics fucking pulled the same thing
I
in
don't
some
know.
movie.
I just remember it from Van Wilder.
Yeah, like I was never into those, but Adam Devine did it and fucking tucked his dick in, and that shit was so funny.
Bro, morning lift was awful. That was the only entertainment you got. We had to do CrossFit, right? When it was still new. So none of us were gaining weight, and my skinny ass needed to gain weight. And you can ask Matt. At that point, I was pounding food. I went to his house. We both would chug protein shakes. Afterwards, I had like 2 or 3 peanut butter sandwiches, slamming them down. Like I was committed to gain weight in football. I could not gain weight because it was like new CrossFit. So it was all like body weight and shit. Bro, even
Yeah.
our linemen were losing weight.
Everyone
Like,
got hurt too. Then there was the revolt.
yeah, bro. And then everyone was like, and I quit. I was like, bro, I'm not gaining weight, so I'm still skinny as fuck. I still don't have a playbook. I quit. I'm gonna get fucking destroyed. As much as I want to play, I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. to do 500 push-ups. And so I quit. And then literally, like, I think it was like 2, 3 weeks later, Matt said they had like a revolt because they had like a scrimmage and they got like fucking bullied because they were just too skinny. Everyone was. And they had like a revolt. They're like, we're not fucking doing CrossFit anymore. And so the coaches were like, okay, fine, you don't have to do CrossFit. And let them lift finally. And then Matt got fucking swole. Matt was jacked out of his mind.
That's a 30-pound summer.
Yeah. I got a 3-pound summer and I was fucking eating so much peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I swear to God, I shit out peanut butter and jelly. That Smuckers that comes combined, it's from my shit that summer. Literally, dude. That's it. And like Matt's like, dude, just keep eating. I was like, I am.
Get a peanut butter jelly, then you get those fucking like huge totes or crates, whatever the fuck it was, a protein powder that has like the fucking handle.
And now our
Jesus.
stomachs are both fucked up. So thank you, Woodbridge, because Matt has IBS and I have gastritis. So fuck you guys.
It's worth
You made us think we were doing something wrong. And now we've destroyed ourselves. We're going to sue you.
Is that what started it all?
Bro, that really is when I noticed my stomach was like really fucked.
Starbucks
Was like
food.
Yeah, I noticed it before then because if I have wings, I'm
my-
pissing out of my ass on the toilet. It's
I
straight
had-
urine.
I had 31 absent days my senior year, and like combined because it wasn't all full days,
Yeah.
but it would be like I'd either show up late or I'd go home early, and half the time it was because I would leave because I would have stomach issues, and I'd leave after like 2 or 3 periods and like go home because like I was we were all like walking distance essentially, but like I would get to lunch and I'd be like, I don't feel good and I'm going home kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, me and Ruggles ditched a lot in second semester at Woodbridge.
yeah.
I literally passed health the day of graduation. Matt remembers that. I literally passed the day of graduation because I was failing because I never went because it was 5th period. And I was always just leaving and going to fuck around with Matt, with Ruggles. Like none of us gave a fuck at that point. Because I think Matt was TAing, so they didn't care. I wasn't. I already did my TA quarter and I had health. And I was like, I'm not going to health.
I think my senior year, I think I took a 0 period, and I had like fucking PE for some reason because I was skipping football because of like a couple other things.
Yeah.
I just like needed a PE credit, and so like I took PE 0 period, and then I had like a TA on like 5th period, and it was for PE because I was super tight with it's not fucking Streisand, but
Mrs. Stason.
Stason.
Yeah.
Mrs.
I was like, it's not Streisand because that's fucking Barbara Streisand. But I was super tight with her because I'd been in her class literally every year, and I was taking her class in the morning, and so she was like, "Yeah, you can
PE loser." Oh,
and
sorry.
so I was fucking varsity PE. What are you talking about?
I was in volleyball, one of the hottest volleyball teams in the state.
And then I just never went. So I like by 4th period, like once 4th period was over, I could go home. Like I would go to lunch with friends, but like half the time I would leave. Like another half the time I'd just like stay at the fucking tables after lunch because I would just be like, let's just fucking everybody's hanging out playing fucking Fun Run, and
Oh my
Oh
God.
we're all on
God.
our phones. Like,
Bro, I remember Matt did PE with us like sophomore, junior year. He did it because he didn't want to do morning lift. And so he's like, I need to do PE. And we're like, what? I was like, what? Don't you play like, don't you have a sport? And he's like, yeah, but I ain't going to fucking morning lift. And so
well,
then we
don't
did
you?
PE until we joined volleyball. And we were the best. Dude, we were goats.
That was
I,
bullshit. That fucking Chris Ho wouldn't give me a spot on that team.
bro, eighth grade, I knew I was meant to play that sport. In eighth grade, when I shoved that bitch to the ground because she was in the way to give me for my ball, bro, I knew it. And at that moment, I knew it. And then the moment we played CDM, this team's decked out, right? They got Nike stuff. They got custom Kobe's for being on the volleyball team. And I was ready. I was like, bro, I'm gonna fuck these kids up. I see one kid take a ball to the face, and I get real comfy on that bench. And I'm like, you know what? Not this time. You guys lived another day. Coach looked at me and Matt and said, go in. Looked at him. This is a dead ass true story. Looked at the coach. I said, nope. And they're like, no, seriously, Matt, Tyler, go in. We looked at him. We're like, you are fucking high if you think we're
Dude,
going to get creamed by these
these
fucking
kids were
roided
fucking
out
like
freaks.
jump serving the ball so fucking fast. The kids on our team didn't even react by the
Yeah.
time the ball hit the fucking ground, or they like set it up and this kid would jump like his fucking chest was like this far above the net. He
Yeah,
just
no.
goes straight down way. Yeah, no, that's enough. This team has like their
Well,
fucking national championship banner for volleyball in the corner. We're like, yeah,
Yeah, dude,
go
they were
wasn't
like,
team,
it?
go
they were
team.
literally like, okay, you get a coach on one, which is where the coach just hits balls at you. And I was
Yeah.
like, honest to God, you two scare me less than them. I would rather do a coach on one. And then I hit the coach in the face on my
Oh
coach on
my
one. And he was
god, that was
pissed.
hilarious.
He fucking
What?
hit it at me. I went, bah, fucking donk. And then the head coach came. He's like, oh, you think you're funny? And I was like, yeah, I kind of do. Everyone's laughing. And he was like, he kept like fucking hammering it at me. And I kept trying to hammer it back or like kick it up to his head. And I couldn't do it. And he's like, this will never end. And I was like, I don't have anything to do for the rest of the day. And he was pissed, bro. I did not care about volleyball at all. They were like, do you want to play? I'd look them dead in the eye. I'd be like, no. And they'd be like, then why are you here? So I don't have to do PE.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, like, was it us? Like, because I tried out and I was with Matt and I guess it was you because I
Yeah.
thought it was like Justin for a second, but like it was us. That
No, it
tried
was
out
us and Joey Becerra. And
Joey told
Yeah.
us to go. He was like,
Yeah.
guys, come out
Yeah,
for the cheers.
okay.
No one there. And it was like,
I
sure.
remember. I remember like doing it and I was like, I have no interest. And I think he like asked me to be on. I was like, I just don't want to do PE. Like, and I think that's like why one of the reasons why I didn't get it. But I remember seeing the team and just being like, none of you are good. Like,
Dude, that varsity team lost every single fuck. I remember they did the JV varsity scrimmage and we almost beat them.
Oh my
And
God,
it
that was
so
sad.
demoralizing to
That was the
fucking
only time I
go.
tried in volleyball.
Because
Was
our
that time.
team was made up of like fucking dudes that did
Yasser,
not give
yeah.
a shit. Like we had some athletic kids, but no one knew what the fuck they were doing.
yeah, it
or
was just like
cared.
athletes, not volleyball.
And they
players.
had like kids that were like playing like club ball on the side and shit, and we almost beat them, and it was the funniest thing ever.
Bro, yeah. Volleyball. And then I remember I got cut. Like, I think it was senior
Right
year.
after the time that you said no.
No, it was like senior year, like, because they were like, oh, yeah, we want you to lift. And I was like, lift for volleyball? Like, no. And so I think Matt went to a few just because he had to go anyways for football. And so
Yeah.
he's like, Matt was like super dedicated to lifting for football. And so he was lifting with the volleyball team. And I never fucking went. I could have given two fucks. And then he's like, Tyler, are you even going to go to the trial? I was like, no, I mean, you don't have any other better players than me. So, like, if you want to cut me, I really could give two fucks, man. And then he's like, I was like, my PE requirement is done. And he's like, well, we want you on the team. So he tricked me into going for a week to the lifts. And then after that, I went to the tryout and he's like, Tyler, you're not going to make it. And I was like, okay. He's like, if you want, you could keep practicing with us. And I was like, no, I'm good. You guys have fun. And then Matt was like, Matt was telling me, he's like, bro, this is fucking so dumb. He's like, this is so bad.
I rode that bench so hard, and I remember I just go in. I think it was like one of the games. I literally just started smacking the ball. It's hard. Not. It would not even be fucking close. I hit one into the stands, and Poe's face was getting so mad, but I just kept acting like I was so into it, but I was just like really bad, and
Dude.
it drove him fucking nuts.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, nobody give a fuck about volleyball. Like,
It's just hard though. I'm
literally
not gonna lie.
It's hard to give a fuck about.
well, exactly. Like, and like Matt just said, like it's hard. So it's like you'll care about it if you care about it. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, I think if
you're
Matt and
good
I
at
actually
it,
tried, we'd be pretty
like,
good at volleyball. But we didn't
Yeah.
care enough. We were literally like, don't fucking care. Like they'd even tell us like, bro, if you guys like actually cared, like be pretty good. And we're like, yeah, well, we don't. So
Yeah, this is my fuck around time in off season.
well, I mean, it's like 75% like athleticism, and like all
Yeah.
three of us are like pretty athletic. All right, guys. So we're gonna get into this last topic real quick of taunting in sports. That's right, and it's different across sports. I'll say that because like football, the NFL borderline stands for the no fun league for a lot of people.
true.
And I hate baseball, but in baseball, it seems like baseball fans hate baseball, and they don't want their players to celebrate and everything. And then basketball, it's almost like expected at times, or like it's what turns like a good player into a great player. Like Trae Young was taunting the New York Knicks, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" Like, they were either like super into Trae Young or they super hated him. And like the NBA is super polarizing in that aspect, but like just what do you guys think about taunting in sports and everything?
I love it, honestly. I just think everyone's gone soft in so many different ways. Like people will hate on Trey Young for doing that, but he loves that shit. He loves people hating him. 'Cause it's like just like how like some of those guys like Kobe, he loves hearing the boos and then just shutting them up, doing that type of thing. Like I'm that guy. Like stop me, and you know you're that good. Like who doesn't love rubbing in someone's face like that at times? And like the NFL guys, like it's just like ridiculous. I mean, beyond just the taunting, it's just like why can't you have a good time? Or like everyone ones up each other and lets them know like what's so bad about it.
Yeah, my thing is like, if you as a fan can talk shit, why can't a player talk shit?
Right? And,
Like-
like
My thing is like a big play happens. How come you as a fan are allowed to like cheer, yell, and get all stoked about it, but the player who just did the play can't? Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
well, and like I said, like baseball, I feel like is the perfect example because people fucking hate celebrations in baseball.
That's
Like
true.
somebody will hit a home run, and like they'll like walk the bases, they'll bat flip, they'll do whatever, and like they'll be taunting, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's gonna get beamed on his next at bat,
And
and
then
he
the pitchers
deserves
beam
it."
'em. It's so weird.
And
It's
it's like
unwritten rule.
yeah, but it's like that's a stupid rule that you don't want players to celebrate, and that like as a fan, you're like, yeah, like I encourage somebody throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastball like at somebody's ribs or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I think it's like the MLB should encourage, honestly, like some of the like when Trevor Bauer would do like some of that shit where he's like sheathing like a knife or like a sword when he like strikes someone out and shit, and like Joe Kelly like mocking them. Like I think that shit is so funny and good for like their sport. It gets people talking about it and it gets clicks. Like people's like
And
that
that's-
Joe
yeah.
Kelly thing blew up, and it's like why wouldn't you want that? Like I get unwritten rules. It's like same thing in golf. Like oh, got to be like a gentleman and this and that. It's like
You're not-
why not like let loose sometimes? Like I don't get
Yeah.
it.
And like in golf, it's just like don't be an asshole while somebody's hitting it. Like I understand, you're
Yeah,
not
but
fucking trying to fuck
afterwards.
it up. But like if you want to shout at somebody like after or whatever, like go for it.
Bro, I'll tell you
But-
right now, if I hit a walk-off home run on someone, I'm a baseball
Oh,
player.
I
am going to
I would
Unbuckle
I would-
my belt, pull my dick out, and scream "suck it" to the pitcher and the
would-
other team's dugout.
I would fight the pitcher and it wouldn't matter because it would still be counted as a fucking run. Like, like
Like,
I just it's
and
stuff
nobody
like
stopped me
that.
from celebrating that.
Like I just don't understand it when how people don't want excitement to happen in their sport because as you just said, Matt, is that it's all about drawing attention to your sport. Like I forgot even what it was about, but fucking a couple WNBA players were like going at it on Twitter, and it is the most entertaining that the WNBA has been since its inception. Like the way you draw like attention to your sport is by like kind of causing drama and like being in the news cycle, which is like something that the NBA just for whatever reason like excels at of just always being in the news. But like the NFL has a bunch of personalities, like just their athletes or personalities.
Yeah.
But like hockey, MLB, like the biggest personality I feel like in MLB, like I don't even know baseball, but is the fucking uh the dude on the Pirates. And everybody like half the league seems to hate him. He was like the cover of one of either MLB the Show this year or last year or something. Um but he's like the only one that I ever hear anything about in baseball hardly. Like I'll hear about baseball when the Angels like the Asian dude on the Angels.
Shohei, he's a beast.
Yeah, that he's just like an absolute monster. Like Mike Trout is like a monster. That like certain players are just absolute monsters. But like that aside from that, like I hear random drama every once in a while, but I'll hear baseball like 6 times in a year. And then but I'll hear about basketball constantly and I'll hear about football more just because again, there's way more personalities that draw in the media.
Yeah, I think it's just people going soft. Everyone gets like offended at like little things with that, and I think part of it too is like at least NBA, everyone's so like you hear all the older players talk about it like at different eras, like everyone's so buddy buddy now.
Mm-hmm.
It like I feel like it's good and bad because there's not necessarily like oh like I mean the only like rivalry where you'd be like oh they hate each other would be like if Russ and KD were to face off,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like other than that it's not. I don't know. I like being able to like talk shit to someone and like maybe you don't like them but you respect them obviously at the end of the day as like a competitor.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I don't know. I wish people would do it more,
Me
honestly,
too.
because it's more entertaining.
I like taunting. I think taunting's good for the soul.
Yeah, I mean, as Matt said, it's entertainment. Like these sports are supposed to be entertainment first. Like you see people do these incredible things, these incredible feats, but you're like, if you're playing golf and all you do is hit a fucking golf ball 400 yards, which is like absolutely insane. Like that's hyperbole that you're gonna hit a golf ball 400 yards. But if you hit a golf ball 400 yards and then you walk off as if you sink it a 2 foot putt, like who gives a shit? You know, like
Yeah.
you didn't do anything. Like if you're chipping it in from 120 like feet away, like you're chipping it in from the fucking from the sand, and you're just like, all right, cool, and you walk away. Like nobody's gonna care. Like talk your shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think taunting's just one of those things where people, like you guys said, they're just soft. It's good for the sport. It brings eyes to the sport. Like obviously you don't want Palace at the malice, but I mean a little shit talk is not that bad. Like
Dude,
Malice
that
at
was
the
epic.
Palace. Yeah,
that
that shit needs to
documentary
happen
was so
again
good.
though. I need to watch that documentary, but that
It's
shit needs to
good.
happen again based off the fans the last couple years in the NBA. Just like
Bro,
throwing shit like ever since COVID like quote stopped and fans have been allowed back in arenas, like they've been so fucking disrespectful to NBA players that it's like I would love it if somebody just did that shit to Russ and Russ were to just fight somebody, dude.
yeah, dude. Like they were
Like,
talking about it, like interviewing all the players, and it was like Ron Artest was like talking about going up in the stands, and he's like obviously I shouldn't have done that. He goes, if you're gonna act like you are protected because you're sitting in a stand,
yeah,
like
because you're like
you're in a chair and you think you can throw shit at me, like I'm gonna give you a very scary wake up call. Like you wouldn't do that to me in real life. And then there was those fans that came onto the court. Remember that with Jermaine O'Neal, and he like charged up a punch, loaded it, but he slipped. And like Steven Jackson's like dead ass, that probably saved him from jail time, because if he didn't slip and he cleanly connected that punch, that dude would be dead. And the dude, literally, they interviewed that fan, and he was like, I didn't even come there to fight. I got on the floor just to see what was happening. And they're like, dog, a big fight breaks out. You're a Pistons fan. You go straight to the Pacers bench on the court right behind Jermaine O'Neal with your fists cocked, and you're going to try and convince someone you're not ready to fight. No, you got knocked the fuck out. That's what happened. And he like tried acting hard, like I mean, like if it were, he just cheap shot me, like if it was a fair fight. I'm like, if it was a fair fight, you still would have gotten your bitch ass knocked out. Jermaine O'Neal is 24, 7 feet tall, 200 something pounds of muscle. You would have rocked
like
your
the
shit.
Fucking, like the Jake Paul fights and shit, where people are like, oh, somebody should have like Meta World Peace, like run our test, fight Jake Paul. And it's like, Jake Paul's bigger than the fighters that he's fighting, but Meta World Peace is fucking 6'7".
Yeah, I don't think people realize how big basketball players like really are.
No,
like,
they think Chris Paul is small and he's 6'3".
Yeah, like
to a normal person is tall.
Chris Paul is 6 foot.
Is he? I thought he's 6'2", 6'3".
I know Steph's 6'3".
Steph Westbrook, Lillard, Kyrie are like 6'3". Chris Paul is.
Oh yeah, he's 6 foot.
Yeah,
but
even then, that's tall. Yeah. That's not short.
Yeah, like NBA.
You have like
players,
a 5'5" dude saying Chris Paul's short. Yeah. It's like, bitch, he's still almost a foot taller than you. Chill.
Yeah, it's because he's in the NBA, which is just the tallest sport. Like,
yeah, you
that's
see
why
7-footers like it's nothing.
Yeah, like it's why it's like people say like LeBron should play whatever position in the NFL. It's like, dude, LeBron would be the biggest fucking dude in the NFL.
He'd be too big.
Yeah,
he's like, just so athletic though, it'd be insane. Like
he could do it, but like, isn't Gronk like one of the biggest guys, and he's like 6'5" or some shit?
Yeah, but you have to realize Gronk's also fucking way like bigger than LeBron.
No, I know, but like, imagine Gronk, like one of the biggest NFL players, lining up next to LeBron, and there's a fucking 4-inch height difference. So like Gronk's like just like at his just above LeBron's shoulder, essentially, like a little bit above that.
Thing would be LeBron probably be like a receiver, and him being 6'8" compared to like some 5'7" to 6'2" max like receiver, like I mean corner. So it's like still a 6-inch at least difference. Just like
not including like the extended arm.
Yeah, with like another 7 feet.
He'd be like Megatron.
Jumping ability. It'd be unfair.
I don't even blame LeBron for not playing football. If I'm that big, hell no, bro. You'd be like Megatron. You're always going to be hurt.
LeBron's like too big for football, in all honesty. Just like height wise, it's just like somebody's going to tackle you, and it's always going to be at your fucking legs.
He would destroy. His body would be destroyed. He would not be able to keep playing as he is right now.
Like you're going to tear your ACL like once every 4 years or some shit like that.
Yeah, his knees and legs would be shot.
Poor Braun.
I mean, I'd love to see like Iverson. Like Iverson would have been perfect for the NFL. Like
he was good at football. He just chose basketball because basketball makes more money.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a choice between basketball and football, and you're gonna destroy your body for football for like a fraction of the price, like you're gonna choose basketball.
Yeah,
like the only
especially if you know like you'd be elite at basketball. Like, there's no way I'm choosing football. Like, because, bro, being elite at football is, like, not saying being elite at basketball is not hard, but being elite at football and being elite for a long time is so fucking hard.
Well, like you got to think, like, even if you were, say, going to be, like, a quarterback who tends to make the most money, like $45 million, even if you're doing that, you have to play twice, like, 2 or 3 times as long as, like you can make $10 million a year in the NBA, and you're still gonna make more. Like, probably be able to make more than if you make like $40 million in the NFL.
And your NBA contract's guaranteed. Your NFL one ain't.
Yep.
Yeah. So like you're gonna be paid for 8. Like if you could just make 2 contracts in the NBA, you're playing for 8 years.
Yeah.
Whereas the NFL, most people don't make it past their first fucking contract.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I think the average length of a career is like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Then
So like
just your career could end on any type of hit,
Yeah,
any type of
your
play versus
life like
basketball.
not to even sound dramatic, but your life could end. You take a bad
Yeah.
hit.
yeah,
Like you literally like Brian Shazier, dude. Like they didn't even know if he was going to make it. Alex Smith almost died off of a broken
yeah. I was
leg.
gonna say
Like
that was the one I was thinking of.
bro, like
Like a
some of these
broken
injuries,
leg and you almost die.
like
Like
NFL is brutal, man. Like yeah, you obviously get brutal injuries in every sport. You're an elite level athlete. Like you're playing against elite level athletes, but bro, like you think about it, like NFL is just so brutal. It is so brutal, and if you have the opportunity to be like, I can be an elite basketball player, or I can be a good to elite football player, you should choose basketball for your safety.
I
Save
will.
yourself that CTE.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally for that alone. But I will say I feel like and the NBA, and this is just off the top of my memory, and also I predominantly focus on NBA, so that might be part of it. But I feel like the NBA has the most freak injuries out of any sport. Like for example, Sean Livingston's and Paul George's come to mind, where they were just like on a fast break, go for like a basically uncontested shot, and then come down and their leg fucking just snaps in half
yeah.
essentially. Like even Kevin Ware, like from
Oh,
Louisville,
Louisville.
and like any injury that like all again off the top of my head, like the injuries that I think about in like football, they all come from a hit. Whereas like those three injuries from basketball are like non-contact injuries.
Yeah,
Yeah, every non-contact injury in football is pretty much just torn ACL. Essentially, you'll just see a guy cut and he just comes up on his knee.
Yeah, and I mean that
Just,
happens like all the time
just
in the NBA
yeah,
too.
it's crazy.
I couldn't imagine that just like, but I what wasn't there like a sports science a couple years ago where it was like the way you cut when you play basketball is like every time you do it, it's like more pressure on your ankles than what like your ankles are like built to withstand or some shit. Like you put so much like psi on your ankles that like typically doesn't like it can't take, but for whatever fucking reason like it works out or some shit like that.
Dude, just I feel like in the end, like those guards that don't dunk and stuff as much have more longevity in the NBA just
Mm-hmm.
because how often you're coming up and down. Like you'd rather
It's
have
the
the
I think it's
cutting
the
versus the
down.
up and down on like the wood when you're
Yeah,
like dunking and doing all that stuff all the time. Like destroys people's knees after their career.
I think it's the down. Like it's
Yeah.
the landing. Like that you come down with such a force because
There was a
it's
sports science on
always
that with LeBron. It was like someone was analyzing, he learned how to like come down in like a
mm-hmm.
form of like a ballet type thing. So it wasn't
and
as much pressure.
and so and Derrick Rose had to completely change like the way he like drives the basket basically because he like tore his ACL and like his MCL or something. Like he had two like on separate legs, like his two huge injuries within like a 3 year period, and it destroyed his leg. So he had to completely relearn essentially like how to drive and to come down off a layup so that he came down with like both feet instead of one. And it's like him, like John Wall, like all these uber athletic point guards that come in, a lot of them tend to have major injuries. Like all the biggest athletes like tend to get injured. Like Blake Griffin is like one of like just anybody you can kind of think of. Like if anybody lasts longer than 15 years without a major injury, like especially an athletic player, it's fucking crazy. That's why it's not as surprising as a guy like Kevin or as Tim Duncan plays for so long because he's not like jumping up and sky high. He's got the fundamentals, the footwork. But then you look at somebody like Braun, it's like he's
He's the
he
freak.
doesn't dunk. Yeah,
yeah
but
he's
he
not
also like
human.
doesn't dunk as much. Like he doesn't sky high as much because he's like I'm gonna work on my mid range game, my post game because I'm not trying to like ruin my legs because I'm coming down from one fucking dunk and I just come down the wrong way or somebody's under me. And like, thank God they got rid. Like, one of the better rules the NBA implemented is the getting under the feet of the shooter, where
Yeah,
when somebody comes up because like Bruce Bowen would do that shit all the fucking time, and like Zaza Pachulia did that shit to fucking Kawhi, like in the first
Oh, I remember that.
Warriors title run, and it's like that shit's so dangerous, and like
Yeah.
people don't realize it. Like people try to be like, oh, the NBA is too soft, and like it's like in some ways, yeah, but like if that's a rule that you use as an example, like that's an awful fucking example. Like that's in everybody's favor.
Yeah.
Gotta protect the players.
Yep. Players first, man. Players first.
I mean, players are the product. If you don't protect them, then you're fucked.
Pretty much.
And that goes for any sport.
Very true.
Not just basketball. Well, let us know if you enjoyed Matt on the pod. I know I did. I know Tyler did. We'll have him back multiple times, but at least once. I'll commit to one time, but but he'll be back, and let us know what you think. If you got any good topic, if you want us to talk about anything, like let us know, because like I can come up with an opinion of anything, even if it's purely to be wrong and be a troll. I'll fucking do that shit. But give us something and we'll make it work. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Like Instagram and TikTok, you're gonna see the clips that we post of the episodes. They're probably more from like Free Flow than they are from Basketball Rejects, just because this podcast tends to be like better for clips and funnier and more entertaining, more attention grasping in short moments.
We have a lot of clips in this one.
Yeah. So follow us on those for clips, and we also post on Instagram whenever we have a new episode. Twitter, you'll find is probably the best place to interact if you want to reach out to us. Instagram is good too. You can even reach Tyler or I privately. I've messaged back everybody that's messaged me. I know Tyler would do the same. Oh, just kidding. Don't message Tyler.
Don't message me. I'll block him.
Follow Matt on Instagram. He's got some thirst
He'll
traps,
block
apparently.
you too.
And then watch us on YouTube, because that's the only way you can actually see our pretty faces. Well, that's not the only way, but it's the only way you can see us for a full episode. And
yeah,
then
we'll be
obviously-
naked for next week's podcast. So, if you want to see that, you
Yeah.
have to be on YouTube because YouTube
Yeah, I mean,
allows
you
it.
You might,
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
fucking just a tease, just a tease for next week. All right, but we're gonna get out of here. It's been a solid pod. It's been a good length.
Got a cup,
so-
2 solid ones this week.
Yeah, and they're both a little bit longer than they have been. So I fuck with it. I'm down. Let's get with it. Get out of it. Matt's over there. Tyler's, I guess he's probably down here. I'm right here, and we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.